Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. In this session, we'll walk you through the latest firmware release, highlighting the key improvements and new features designed to make your experience more efficient and user-friendly. Before we begin, it's important to note that to take full advantage of all the new firmware improvements, you should perform a factory tool update in addition to the firmware update. The factory tool, along with instructions on how to use it, will be included in the same folder as the firmware when you download it. Let's move on to our first new feature. The intercom now comes with door breach detection. It works with a door contact and keeps an eye on the door at all times. If the door opens through an authorized event, like unlocking from the intercom, the mobile app, the VMS, an indoor monitor, or an exit button, everything behaves normally. But if the door opens without any authorized action, the system sees it as a breach. You can set it up to trigger alarms, sound audio alerts on the intercom, or even capture snapshots and recordings of the event. The rule is simple. Door opens without authorization, alarm is triggered. This is especially useful during the day, when alarm systems are typically disarmed. Even if someone attempts a forced entry while the alarm is off, the system will still detect it, notify the property, and trigger any configured actions. This means you're protected and alerted, even when the main alarm isn't active. The new firmware adds a configurable door lock behavior for power failure scenarios. Two modes are supported: fail-safe and fail-secure. Fail-safe works if the intercom loses power, 12-volt or PoE. All connected locks automatically unlock. This ensures that people inside the building can exit freely during a power failure, prioritizing life safety and emergency egress over security. Fail-secure works if the intercom loses power, V12 or PoE. All locks remain locked. This prevents access from the outside and keeps the building secured, even during a power failure. Therefore, fail-secure prioritizes security. By default, the power-off state is set to fail-secure. If you need to change this setting, you can find it in the Access Control Configuration menu under the Door Lock section. Choosing between fail-safe and fail-secure allows you to balance safety and security based on your building's needs. Whether your priority is ensuring people can exit safely during an outage or keeping the premises fully secured, this system gives you the flexibility to configure the behavior that works best for your environment. In high-security setups, a protected room might already require dual authentication, face plus PIN, for a single authorized user. For environments that need an even higher level of security, we now support group authentication. Instead of just one person, a predefined group of 2 to 5 authorized users must all successfully authenticate within 60 seconds for the door to unlock. Here's how it works. User A verified, user B verified, up to 5 users within 60 seconds, the door unlocks. If not all required users are verified within 60 seconds, the door stays locked. This feature adds an extra layer of security for your most sensitive areas, ensuring access is only granted when all required users are verified, giving you both control and peace of mind. Let's look at how it's done. The intercom now lets you set a face recognition schedule, so it only works during the hours you choose. Basically, during the schedule, when a face is detected, the door unlocks. Outside the schedule, the intercom ignores spaces and does nothing. This is really handy for places like offices or reception areas, where you only want face unlock active during staffed hours. It helps cut down on unnecessary screen activity or attempts to authenticate when nobody's around. You can set this up in the Face Recognition configuration under the Schedule section. It's quick and easy to configure. We've improved the way you perform batch imports into the database.
Previously, it was a two-step process. First, you had to select the CSV file and then select the folder containing the JPEG face images. Only after both were selected would the system match the data during import. Now, we've simplified it to one simple step. You can select a single folder that contains both the CSV file and the images, and the system will automatically detect the files, match each record to its corresponding face image, and import all users in a single step.
Let's look at how it's done. The next feature is intended for installations where our intercom is integrated with a third-party access control system using the WiGAND protocol. To make this integration more flexible, we've added transparent WiGAND transmission. When transparent transmission is disabled, the system behaves in the traditional way. The RFID number from an access card is sent to the external controller via WiGAND only when authentication is successful. If a card is presented but authentication fails, access will be denied, and no WiGAND event will be transmitted to the controller. When transparent transmission is enabled, the behavior changes. The RFID number of the card is sent via WiGAND every time a card is presented, regardless of whether authentication succeeds or fails. This gives integrators greater visibility into all card activity, making it easier to maintain accurate access logs and ensure smooth coordination between the intercom and the external access control system.
We have made improvements to our SIP call protocol. Previously, when the intercom operated in a SIP environment and received an incoming call, the audio session started automatically, and there was no way to terminate the call from the intercom side. Now, the intercom includes an end call button and call status indicator, which shows when a call is active. This makes managing SIP calls more intuitive and gives users full control from the intercom itself. We've also enhanced SIP call functionality by allowing long SIP extensions to be mapped to shorter intercom numbers, making them easier to dial and manage. For example, long SIP extensions like 6001 and 6002 can now use simple intercom numbers like 1 and 2, while still routing correctly through the SIP system. This streamlines calling, simplifies the user experience, and keeps your setup organized and efficient.
Thank you all for your continued support. We hope you enjoy the improvements in this release. See you next time.